Hello everyone, I'm Overcord95, The Wandering Knight, and welcome to a weird little idea I had for at least a one-off, if not maybe a few episodes of vlogs on my game ideas. These aren't going to necessarily be good, they probably will be bad, but they're my game ideas and I wanted to talk about them and get them out of my head. But first off, real quick, streams will be back up tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday with Ghost of Tsushima tomorrow. Sometime in the afternoon, early afternoon, 1:32, and Kingdom Hearts on Monday, probably again around 1:32 in the afternoon. So, but let's get on with it. So, I've had this idea for a fair bit, and it's pretty loose in the way that, because it's basically a mechanic for gaming more than a game itself, because I always see it set in various different worlds, and honestly, what looks like as a possible future is the new Hogwarts Legacies coming out, is what seems kind of what I'm talking about, but we'll see what it actually does. But my idea is, I love RPGs. As you've probably seen, I've played quite a few RPG-style games on my channel. Well, one of the biggest things that I get a little bit annoyed with, and I'll be honest with you, it's because of how I play games compared to others, is, especially with like the Souls games, those are supposed to be brutally hard. I understand. But there always seems to be some cheese strat. Now, I'm not necessarily, but like the strat that's almost guaranteed to play. If you play this, you're more likely to going to get through the game, and that's the easiest way to win. For like Souls games, it is a quick, light build which does massive damage. So you want to be dodging, flying around, and being able to massively hit quickly. I don't play like that. My usual go-to for a game is a tank-type build. I build a beefy, strong character with a lot of hit points, can tank a hit, and will deal out damage, but slower. So, one of my thoughts always was, what if I took away that control, in a way? So I want to play a game where your character... And I want to make this clear, not like the main character of a storyline. Like, it's your storyline, yes, but I don't want to go into Harry Potter and play as Harry Potter. I don't, because that's a JRPG. You play through as a set character in a way. I still want to make my character, but there's certain presets he's born into. So my go-to thought is, because it's the one I know the most information about and can kind of give an example of especially, but one I was also interested in a long time, is like in a Naruto world. Most Naruto games are straight-up fighting games. They're not RPG style. They're not, I'm going to learn a skill, increase the ability of my skill, and then get stronger because of it. I'm not going to grind and train and all that. It's just play through a story, fight the characters, with some variations of what the story is, who you're playing as, so on and so forth. They're very enjoyable games. In fact, I've played almost every single one up to the new Boruto stuff just because I'm not interested anymore. But I've always wanted to play, specifically, I never wanted to play through the Naruto story as another character. I want to actually go to the before times in like the Warring Clans era, where you could play as one of so many clans as an option, and it's chosen, like when you start the game, you don't have any say other than gender and general appearance control, what your character is. So you could easily be a Senju, or you could be a clanless mercenary ninja. And each one has its own story that you need to that you can play through, and will have a completed ending, usually ending up with you still fighting the big bad at the end, but your playstyle is dictated by what your character is. So, for example, even in like using, again, canon Naruto characters, Rock Lee can never use ninjutsu. And I wouldn't have a character have that much of a deficit in the choices, but you might be a clanless child or a clanless ninja with a specialty in taijutsu. So you're going to have more skills and abilities for up-close fighting. And that's where your speed, your strength is going to matter more, and that's going to be prerequisite before you even get into the game. You're not going to be able to control that, at least the first playthrough around. So now, boom, you're playing as a taijutsu specialist clanless ninja who has to up his skills in that. He can still have some ninjutsu and some genjutsu or other skills, but his main focus is going to be, and his main attack powers and all that is going to be with his taijutsu. Meanwhile, on the other end of it, you can end up as being a Uchiha with a ninjutsu specialty, and is able to perform higher end ninjutsu than other characters might be able to. But again, you don't get to choose that. It's given to you as life gives you a lot of stuff. So it's in a weird way I want to introduce a mechanic for RPGs where you can play like the lack of control life gives you to a degree. You can still shape your person, but there are certain barriers and stuff that you just can't overcome. And I think that'd be interesting because, like I said, my default RPG experience is to go for a tanky build. And a lot of other people's experience is to go for a speedy, quick power build. Take all that away for a minute and play what the game gives you. You still develop your character, you still develop your interactions with people, you're good or you're bad, all that stuff is still in your control, but your base, what you are, what you can and can't do is taken away from you. I think it'd be a really interesting experience because it pushes how you play the game in a different way. And then, once you've beaten through the main storyline one time randomized, you can either choose to do randomized again with a new character, or go through and just play all the different types of variations you could get. Because there's a game that I love, actually. I think it's called X-Men Legacy. No, it's not X-Men Legacy. What is it called? Hold on 1 second. I gotta look it up. Because X-Men Evolution? No, that's the freaking TV show. X-Men PS3 game, I think it was. X-Men Destiny, where you have a little bit like that. But the problem is they go for almost a boring, not boring, it's still a very good game. It's actually one of my favorite games of all time. Progressive beat-em-up boss fight. You know, you're fighting through, you're gaining some experience, but it's so narrowed out. I'd love an open world style with that. Whereas in X-Men Destiny, you don't have the open world style. But that's kind of what I would love to see done in Naruto, in a lot of the anime worlds that we have that have built up, like, how their world works a bit more. So you could talk potentially Bleach, where you go before Ichigo's storyline, My Hero Academia, before All Might, I would say. All kinds of places and worlds that I would love to see expanded in, especially like their history or their future, where you could play through a storyline. You could also do it easily with Lord of the Rings, or Harry Potter. And I'm interested to see what happens with that Hogwarts Legacy, because that is probably the closest I'm going to get to what I want. It's going to have a story. You're going to have your character created. Go to which house you go to. Learn your spells and skills. Build your character. And you're probably going to have some skills that are stronger or weaker. It's just an idea. I wouldn't know how to make the mechanics for it. I don't know coding or anything like that. But it would basically probably be a random number generator system, where once you click start, it randomly generates one of 20 options, and then from there generates one of 4 options, and then one of 3 options. So it'd be like randomly generate. You hit 16, you're going to be a Senju. Random generate one of 5. It's going to be with a Earth style or Earth element alignment. Random generate with a preference for Genjutsu. Random generate specialty weapon, or actually at that point you're done, you know, and then you could base your character's facial and even like personality a little bit around that, but that's what your character is. I'm sorry I'm rambling, it's just my head has a lot of weird ideas and they bounce around, so that's why I wanted to get this out. I would love to know what you guys think, and let's throw it out there. If anybody knows how to make that game in any way, even if it's a totally original thing, because my mind just goes to what I know exists, whereas how do I make that original? I would love to see something like that. I really would. I'd play the crap out of it. My whole channel would just turn into that probably for a while, even if it frustrates me, because that's something that I don't see. JRPGs, you play as the character, but you still basically can be whatever the character you want it to be. The Souls games, super brutal, but again, you have certain strats that people are like, oh, this is the guaranteed way to win. No. I want a game where that takes that control out of it just a little bit. So let me know. If you have any crazy ideas for games you want to tell me about, I'd love to hear them. I have a few other things in my head that I might put out as a couple videos or so. But I think that's it for today. Like I said, tomorrow we'll be back with Ghost of Tsushima and Kingdom Hearts on Monday, and then we'll probably do Thursday and Friday as well. We'll get a stream out there as well. Probably one of those, Thursday or Friday, will be Twitch. I don't know which one just yet. I'm just debating and what I would play for Twitch. So let me. So if you want to like it, leave me a like, comment, or subscribe. Please do. I'd love to have a conversation about games and what we'd love to see in them in the comments below. But otherwise, regardless, you guys have a good night, good morning, wherever you are. Bye-bye!